Hello and welcome to the Monday evening meditation live from Newbury Monastery. I am supposed to remind people that you can ask questions after the meditation on YouTube live chat. So please don't hold back. Write us your questions, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the meditation, around 15 minutes. We'll see how long it goes, and then we do 45 minutes meditation together. And afterwards, if something came up in your meditation or you have some general questions, you're welcome to ask your questions. Okay. So every one of us is in a different mind state all the time. We have different aspirations to meditate. Some people, they start with the highest aspiration. Just they want to become enlightened. That's why they meditate. Some people maybe have a sickness, and they heard that meditation might help them with their pain or with overcoming that sickness. Other people might have tried it out and found that meditation is conducive to their day-to-day life with other people and being aware of what is going on in your mind. And so they have reaped some benefits already in their meditation. And that is their motivation to continue with it. The third category is obviously the best, because if you have something in your meditation that draws you already to the meditation, something that pulls you towards it because the mind associates it with something pleasant, then you have that benefit already that you want to sit down. If it's just a concept in the head, like I want to get enlightened, I want to be awakened, I want to be a good Buddhist, I want to be this, I want to be that, and you start meditating, and maybe you read or heard about the benefits of the meditation, but you never experience any peaceful or beautiful states yourself in the meditation, then that inspiration is gonna run out of steam after a while. And that is then when people stop meditating, or they have a very strong mind, or they have very strong willpower, and they can continue for many, many years just forcing themselves back onto the pillow, because this is what Buddhists are supposed to do. They're supposed to meditate. And I encountered that with people that they meditated for decades, and they still had to push themselves onto the pillow. This lack of benefit from the meditation, and just that blind belief that sitting down cross-legged or in any other position is just going to give you some benefits in itself. And that is a problem. You can meditate for a long, long time, but if you sit down and it's just unpleasant and you're struggling, then you're just perpetuating unwholesome mind states. If you get angry in your meditation and a part of you hates the meditation, there's never going to be a pull, there's never going to be any beauty that lures you back onto your pillow. And I think that's a shame. And then I think it's a time to shorten the periods of your meditation, or to stop it for a while and see what you're doing in your meditation. If there's maybe too much willpower involved. So for the people who have some chronic pain, meditation is difficult. Starting with pain in the meditation is very difficult. So good if you maybe can take your painkillers or your medicine, or whatever you do before your meditation. Don't expect your meditation to relieve your symptoms. Try everything you can before you start with the meditation, because physical pain is a great hindrance to having a chance to develop a peaceful mind. Sometimes it can happen when there's so much pain and the mind doesn't know where to go anymore, that this letting go just happens. But that is basically having your back against the wall, and that works once. And next time, do you really want to go through that again to get in any nice states? And the end result will be, after a while, you will associate meditation with pain. And if that is the case, then you developed tendencies against meditation. And that is going to make it harder and harder and harder to enjoy your meditation. So today, the good thing for you is you can do whatever you want at home. Here in the hall, obviously, people, they can also do what they want. Just always encourage people to, if they get up, if they are in pain or restless or whatever, just try to be as quiet as you can. If you have to go outside, not to disturb anybody else. And if you feel too restless, or is it too painful, change your position. Just, you don't have to get completely out of that mood, of the meditative mood. You can just try to relieve that discomfort to a change in position, or do a little bit of walking meditation. So I emphasize that for the people who don't know me, please don't do this pain stuff. If it's painful sitting, then change, or sit on a chair. And if that is too painful, then change position on the chair and go back on the ground, or whatever. Is the emphasis is on the mind and on the attitude of the mind. This is the time where we can train the mind to be that kind that we can watch things that are a little bit more unpleasant that might come up, but we can watch it. We have enough kindness there to just, oh yeah, that is not so nice, but it's okay, you're welcome. Is this learning to say yes to whatever comes up, either through the five senses, through noise from outside, or smells, or I don't know, flickering of the light behind your eyelids, or physical sensations, or just through this thought process that never leaves us alone. This constant remembering and anticipating of the mind. This inner monologue, which is so hard to stop. But let it never be this act of unkindness and willpower to try to calm things down. Is this kindness and offering the mind something where it likes to be, something where it can ease in, where it finds a spot already, which is, oh yeah, here it is quiet. Oh, this is nice. I don't have to do anything here. And the stronger that feeling of ease is in your meditation from the very beginning, if you manage from the start of your meditation to get into a state where there is just this big yes there, this yes, okay, ready, whatever happens is all right. That is, I call that this kind attitude. And with that kind attitude, there is the possibility that we don't have to interfere with what is going on, because if we want it or not, this process is just rattling on and on. Thoughts are going to come up, feelings are going to come up in the body, there's going to be noises on the outside, and we're getting aware of things we were not aware before, sometimes sensations in the body and sometimes underlying thoughts, just this constant babbling. So we have to be able to say yes to that and have a look. Having a look at that, not trying to control it, to get rid of it, just this offering the mind that opportunity during the meditation. Just you don't have to. You don't have to go into the future. You don't have to go into the past. This is the time we can just experience what it is. Perception without manipulation. Or we're still going to manipulate, but we keep it. We don't actively try to manipulate anymore to make it better. It's just this watching, this kind watching of the process running on and on. And meditation, going deeper, is always through more stillness and happiness coming up. Not the laughter, haha, happiness, but this inner, this release, this awareness that we don't have to do anything for this tremendous amount of bliss that is just waiting inside. So please watch from the very beginning your attitude. Is that just a chore for you that you sit down at that time every day or once a week or whatever? Or is it as meditation becomes something that you don't want to miss out on that anymore? And if it's still a chore, see if you can change your schedule, change things around, make it shorter, see how the mind responds to just having a little bit of quiet for a few minutes. If half an hour, 45 minutes or an hour, whatever you do seems just too long a stretch and just another thing you have to do to be a good Buddhist. And then when you sit down, the most important thing is not how quiet does it get, but can I maintain that attitude of goodwill? Can I maintain an attitude of the goodwill has to be sometimes a little bit active in the beginning of the meditation. So there's a little bit of effort involved, a little bit of smile that we put up, or there's just some more energy, active energy behind it. And then if there is enough trust in that goodwill and enough experience, and it just becomes this smile in the background. It's just watching what is going on. And if you find that you cannot maintain it, and you really lose it and you get negative in your meditation, then don't force yourself to continue. Some people say actually you just keep sitting and whatnot. I don't encourage that. If you find your mind getting worse in the meditation, you might be just in a mind state where it's not the right time. We have to be sensitive to what we need. So sometimes it's just good to get up, have a break, and then often you treat yourself a little bit nice, and then the mind just likes to have a bit more quiet again. So this is why I usually discourage myself and other people from having this set meditation times at a certain time of day. And I don't have to do that in the monastery. Luckily, you might only have the opportunities at certain times of day. So, but please don't make it another chore in your life. You need this this positive attitude. Otherwise, letting go cannot happen. It's just gonna try to force something away. But letting go is always this yes, stuff just happens. It just gets lighter, and if there's enough beauty in the mind already, then the mind is not looking outside through the five senses so much to find more beauty out there. So the more beauty we can create in the beginning of our meditation, maybe just that reflection that we're sitting here with some people and trying to do maybe not the same thing, but we're trying to swim in a similar direction and have the opportunity to do it, and just this knowledge of we don't have to do anything. It's not another chore. It's just this time where we don't have to do a thing in the world. And all these responsibilities, everything that is asking something of us is just falling away. And that sometimes can be enough, reminding the mind of that, and is quite happy for a few minutes. So please watch your attitude during the meditation, and if it becomes still, beautiful. If it doesn't become still, beautiful. That's just the way it goes. Beautiful concept of non-self in Buddhism. These conditions are just rattling on, and if there's enough happiness, it becomes more quiet. The inner happiness is going to make it more quiet in your mind. We don't look for anything special outside because there's enough there already. It starts with that contentment. And if it's not there, then we're discontent, and then there's more thinking and more restlessness, and that's just the way it is in that moment. We keep the attention on being aware we're not in control of that process. So we can remain in that kind attitude, just watching whatever the mind brings up, needs to do. So I'm gonna ring the bell, and then does the camera stay on and all that? Yeah, camera stays on. So I'm gonna ring the bell, and then I just talk for 2 or 3 minutes just to settle you into your meditation a little bit, or try to settle us into our meditation. And then if you please can set the clock for 45 minutes. That is beeping then? Yeah? Okay, I just trust you there. I'm not gonna, if nothing wakes me, then I don't know how long it's gonna go. Yeah? Thank you. So I ring the bell. Please make yourself comfortable. You know all, you don't have to sit on the ground. You might have some arrangement at home where you can sit very comfortable. The most important thing for me is always my body needs to be in a position where I don't need to hold anything up. So I usually go once through my body and see, are my legs, my feet, are they relaxed? My knees. And then I take a deep breath, and then I figure out if my spine is in the right position. Just to pump myself up and out, and then the shoulders come down and my head comes into the right position already, and there's some sort of balance there. And obviously it's important that you can breathe freely, so I hope nothing is restricting your belly. The belly needs to move when there's breathing, and there's nothing that has to be held up. So please, if you're sitting, check your shoulders as breathe in, and with the out breath let your shoulders loose. And then the neck comes a little bit more loose. Feel through the body if there's anything that is trying to hold something in a certain position. The body should be in a position where it can just rest, where basically you can fall asleep in that position, and then maybe the body falls forward or whatnot, or if you're leaning on something, it's nothing is gonna happen. You're not gonna fall off. It has to be a posture where it's effortless sitting or lying down or whatever you're doing. Because if there's from the start something that has to hold on to something, it starts very unpleasant already. So this is the first beautiful thing, we're relaxing the body, and the body doesn't have to do anything. And after a while we know how long we can have the body in that position without damaging it. And sometimes it's a little bit of discomfort after a while, and after a while maybe a tiny little bit of pain, but I know my body well enough, I'm not gonna damage it. That's part of that kindness. Just know it's gonna be alright afterwards. I don't expect this body to be completely comfortable. It's impossible. It's the nature of a body to be uncomfortable. So just relaxing the body, feeling your breath, staying with the body for a while. Put some kindness into it, just as breathe in some health, some good wishes. And with the out breath we just let go. Don't have to carry anything for 45 minutes. And just onlookers, we're just in this, looking at this process going on, if we want to or not. Feelings, perceptions, thoughts. Just develop this little bit of kindness in the background and a little bit of a watcher in the background. Don't have to do anything for 45 minutes. All the worries of the world, all of our own worries, just 45 minutes, they don't need us. Anything that happened in the past doesn't matter. For 45 minutes it doesn't matter. Anything that happens after the meditation doesn't matter. And there is some beauty in that, and there is some freedom in that already. This complete irresponsibility. Just not my business. And if you feel that you need an anchor, you probably have your meditation objects, or you can use the breath. The breath is going on with or without you. If you fall asleep or if you get unconscious, the breath is one of those things that just somewhere from the reptile brain, it's just gonna go on and on until we take our last breath. So if we manipulate it or not, it just is there for us, in and out. But it's just an anchor, we don't need to fix it there. But if it feels comfortable there, fine. I wish you all a beautiful meditation and leave you alone now. So now it's gonna take some time for you to come out of your meditation again, and I was asked to give you a few minutes to give you the chance to write some questions down. If you don't have any questions, we have received some questions already. All right, great, then I don't have to do the juggling.
Okay. First question, Ajahn. Dear Ajahn, I feel a lot of anxiety and pain body pain related to past events. I meditate daily, but I am aware of the triggers. After becoming aware, I can feel resistant towards certain people. That's the question.
I don't know, not quite sure if I understand that correctly. Is the anxiety, you become more aware of the anxiety after the meditation, and the resentment you feel for the people? Would you understand it that way?
Yeah, I believe you're right. That's how I read it as well.
Okay.
Because after the trigger comes up, then there's a bit of a resistance.
Right. So obviously being aware of a problem is always better than not being aware of a problem. So if these things come up during the meditation, they don't come out of they don't come from nowhere. There's always cause and effect in your mind. So if you see more clearly this negativity coming up or anxiety coming up in your mind, then you are confronted with something in your meditation which is a little bit unpleasant. So one good thing is to, if there's a lot of anxiety, focus on your 5 precepts. Keep them as pure as you can. Your harmlessness, your guilelessness. Guilelessness I didn't mean, now guilelessness, which is a form of harmlessness, but the harmlessness with intent. You're being aware that you don't want to harm any creature. You're not killing creatures. People are safe with you. And if that wasn't the case in your past, and you have some past karma to live through, then put an effort and make that clear in your mind. From now on, I try to do better. And there are still going to be mistakes, and we're not in control. But we, after a while, we can trust ourselves that we're making the effort, even if we're not perfect. And that should lessen your anxiety as well. And the less you expect yourself to be perfect, then the clearer you can see the causes and conditions that cause your resentment towards certain people. And always ask yourself, this train of thought, is that if I go in that direction, does it make my mind more happy and more peaceful, or does it disturb my mind more? And the clearer the mind sees that a certain way leads to suffering, and a certain way of thinking leads to more calmness and happiness, there is nothing you have to do. If the mind sees there is happiness, the mind is going there. If the mind sees clearly there is suffering, it's going to draw away from it. This is the nature of the mind. So whatever comes up in your meditation, give it some kindness, even if it's unpleasant. Doesn't mean that it's bad. Have a good look at it, and maybe you figure out what it is. And if there's nothing to figure out, you just set the causes and conditions, put more effort into loving kindness in your meditation and in your surrounding, to lessen that anxiety and to make it able for your mind to open up more, to develop that trust in your own guilelessness, in your own harmlessness, because you need that if you want to open up, but it takes some time. So just be patient with that.
Next question. Dear Ajahn, sometimes in meditation, I can notice my mind becoming very quiet, and then I start feeling sleepy. Any tips for dealing with such a state or state of mind?
I love it actually. If people fall asleep in the hall here, I always appreciate that a lot. That means there's a lot of letting go happening already. Yeah? Deep meditation is like not being able to fall asleep because there's too much energy. But from the relaxation. The point of the relaxation is very close to sleep. This is when the body is completely, when there's something falling away, this body falling away when you go to sleep. It's just this blissful feeling, not having to carry that body around. So I appreciate that direction already. That if you relax enough in your meditation, that you can fall asleep. And if you have worked a lot and if you didn't have enough sleep, then it's a very natural thing that you are tired. If you have the feeling there was energy before there and then it drains away during the meditation and you fall asleep, and you don't want that, you can do a little bit of lifting your mind up before the meditation. Maybe try to generate some positive energy while you sit down or in the beginning of your meditation. That is a possibility. Do some loving kindness. But it's not just thought. This energy is a feeling. If you generate enough loving kindness or gratitude or whatever, you start with a strong, wholesome feeling, and if the mind inclines towards that direction in the meditation already, that might skip this state of dullness in the mind, because if something is interesting, we don't fall asleep. If the movie is thrilling enough, we don't fall asleep. If the food is tasty, delicious enough, we don't fall asleep. This is always, if the mind is engaged enough in something, we don't fall asleep, even if there's a bit of tiredness there. So little bit more generation maybe of or something that inspires you, and happiness can help you over that state of sleepiness. But definitely don't go negative about it. I mean, it's beautiful that you learn to relax your body already, that you even have a chance to fall asleep in that way. Some people, they can't fall asleep at all, too tense all the time. So good on you. Little bit more energy maybe, and then you go through that state. Okay, so another question? 2 questions, all right. Well, all right, I hope you had a peaceful time, and I was supposed to introduce myself. I forgot that. I'm Cittapalo. I gave a talk yesterday, and I have to do another one in 3 or 4 weeks. So, but this is pretty much all my burden in the Rains retreats, so I can sit down whenever I want. I hope you sit down and have a lot of fun in your meditation, that you develop some tendencies that want to meditate, and that you have some enjoyment there, that it's the pillow is drawing you in. Have a good night and all the best until next time.